everybody. We are here with our third reading lesson of the week on Wednesday, October 7th. And we have another similar type story for you, but instead of focusing on the things we focused on earlier in the week, we're going to do something entirely new today, which is the moral of the story, which is usually a lesson that the reader learns because they read this story, something that the characters go through that teaches us something about ourselves. It's true for everybody. This story is called Jealous Birds. It says, Emu and Flamingo were two birds at the zoo. The only problem was that Emu and Flamingo looked very different. Flamingo's feathers were bright pink, and Emu's feathers were a dull gray. Emu never felt very beautiful around Flamingo, which made her feel sad. You want to finish?
I would love to. Flamingo asked Emu what was wrong one day, and Emu explained how her feathers weren't beautiful. Flamingo told her that her feathers don't matter. It doesn't change her personality. Flamingo also reminded her how she is the fastest bird at the zoo.
Oh, it was a sweet story.
It was.
Flamingo seems like a good friend.
Agreed.
Let's look at the first question. First question says, what is the moral of the story? So what do we think we learned from this? And there's a lot of different things we could say.
Yeah, there are. I mean, it sounds like Flamingo and Emu are really good friends. And you mentioned that, yeah, the moral is the lesson of the story. So I'm thinking a little bit about the title, and it says Jealous Birds. Emu is definitely jealous of Flamingo, but it seemed that Emu was kind of reminded and learned that everyone is special on the inside. And it doesn't really matter what you look like, it matters about your personality and who you are. That was kind of a lot, but maybe I can shrink it down into something we can fit on those two little lines.
Good, and remember to write it in a complete sentence.
Okay,
so maybe you could start with like, the moral is...
Ooh, I like that. We definitely need to use the word moral in our answer. So I will start with the moral is, I'm going to write is that everyone, even emus, everyone is special. If I had room, I would probably write more about how, and it doesn't matter what you look like on the outside.
Yeah, I like that moral. So the second question asks us, how do we know that is the moral of the story? And again, I said that this probably isn't the only lesson you could learn from this story.
No way.
But basically what they're asking us is, what happened in the story that led us to believe that everyone is special? What made the flamingo, or what made the emu feel like, okay, I am special? What happened there? So as we're looking through here, we see that, yes, Emu was feeling really down about herself and that she didn't look as pretty as the flamingo looked, but the flamingo reminded Emu that her feathers don't matter. It doesn't change her personality. And she also reminded her how she is the fastest bird at the zoo. So I might go with something like, and I definitely want to go with a complete sentence. Maybe I'll say, I know because.
I like that.
Okay.
Capital letters.
Yes.
Perfect.
I know because Flamingo reminded Emu that it doesn't change her personality. That kind of feels like a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, maybe I know because, Emu reminded her who she was.
Oh, I like that. That's great. I know because, or Flamingo. That was my mistake. Flamingo reminded Emu who she was.
Yes.
Okay.
Very nice.
And our last sentence says, what did the character of Emu learn about her life?
Well, again, I think the character learned a lot. I think she learned not to be jealous.
Yep.
But she also learned about her feathers not mattering. And I think Emu also learned and was reminded that she's the fastest bird at the zoo.
Yeah.
And I bet if the story continued, she would probably remember that she's the fastest, and I bet that would make her feel really proud of who she was.
Yeah.
So I'm going to write that she learned that maybe she's important too.
Yes.
And that she's,
or what makes her special.
Yes, and she
Yeah.
definitely is special.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind being the fastest bird
Yeah.
at the zoo. So I'm going, instead of the character, I'm going to write Emu, because that is the character we're talking about. Learned. Emu learned that, I think I'm going to write that she is special too. That she is special too.
Awesome. Those are some great answers. So you guys can pause this right now so that you can make sure you have all of this written down on your page that says Jealous Birds at the top. And once you've paused it and you have written it down, we're going to flip it over and show you what you guys are going to do on your own.
Yep.
And you can see that this is the page you do on your own because it says on your own at the top.
Man, who made these packets?
Yes. So organized and
I love it.
helpful. All right, bananas in the tree. I see a monkey. Okay, so we're not going to read the story to you. You're going to have to do that work. It is the exact same questions at the bottom. What is the moral of the story? So the lesson you learned. And remember, you want to start with something like the moral is, and then tell us. How did you know that was the moral? What happened that made you think that's what they were trying to teach you? And then what did the character learn about his life? So what did Monkey learn after going through everything he went through in this story? So you guys are doing that on your own. You're totally able to do it. And tomorrow, you guys are going to have a quiz about everything that we learned this week, from sequence of events, what happens first, next, then finally, problem, characters, and setting, and moral of the story.
The moral. Absolutely. We're going to kind of pull everything together tomorrow and double check your learning. And don't forget, on pages like this, there might be more than one way that you can get this answer. There's not always one right answer on questions that are similar to this. So do the best you can. Try to connect it to the story, and I know you'll do just fine.